I first sent my first fundraising letter out to potential donors, I said, this is going to be the hardest thing I've ever done for the biggest problem in Africa, and it's either going to be a disaster or God's going to bless it. So the Clean Water Climb was started in 2011 with a climb of Mount Kilimanjaro. We decided to take on the world's highest freestanding mountain and also the highest mountain in Africa to raise money for Child Legacy's Water Well Ministry. And it's perfect representation of, very difficult hike, and yet it represents a very difficult problem in Malawi, which is the lack of clean drinking water. So it started in 2011, and after 4 trips to Africa, I finally found this organization called Child Legacy, and I met, and they had taken me out to a well repair in 2009. I started bringing people in 2010. And then I met a guy on a plane that had climbed Kilimanjaro to raise money for a charity when I was on my way back in 2010. So that got the wheels turning. And I decided, well, why not climb Kilimanjaro for clean water in Malawi, Africa for Child Legacy? So I recruited people, and we've been doing it ever since.
Okay. Team!
Church project!
Team!
Church project!
To the top!
To the top!
So we do for the hike, we do what we call the Lemosho Route, and I use the same guide company, Zara Adventures, and I have the same guide every year. So we've got a great relationship. They love what we're doing. We bring them clients, and so they're very supportive. You don't have to carry hardly anything on the hike, okay? You have a day pack with water, maybe you have a fanny pack with snacks, you put your cell phone in there. You don't carry very much at all, unless you want to, but there's no reason to, because they provide all of that. They provide the porters, they provide the tents, they provide all the meals, they cook for us. We have a dining room tent for every meal. Practically every meal on the mountain is in a dining room tent. Certainly breakfast and dinner, and sometimes even lunch, they set up a dining room tent on the way up on that day. So it's an 8-day hike total, 7 days up and 1 day down, with complete support of guides, porters, cooks, camp hosts, and so forth.
So we've officially started the hike?
We officially started the hike.
How's everyone feeling?
I can't even talk, I'm so out of breath. Oh wait, I just did. I have seen God's grace on this. Like I said, all 10 of us that left Final Base Camp made it that first year. We raised $50,000 the first year. That was enough to repair 50 wells. And on average, a well might serve 2,000 people. So we brought water to whatever that is, 200,000 people, or 20,000, whatever the math is, that very first year. And I thought, okay, I've seen God at work here, and He obviously blessed it, and He wants me to do it again. And believe me, when I was coming down that first year, near the top, I said, why in the world did I call this the first annual Clean Water Climb? Because it was tough, right? But God blessed it, because people got behind it. And so many people got clean water that I've seen God work through the Clean Water Climb. Since the Clean Water Climb started in 2011, over 3,000 water wells have been sponsored by all the different fundraisers, all the different donors to all the different fundraisers. So everybody that goes on a trip is a fundraiser. And we give them all the tools to write their bio, get their photos, give them a link on a website, and we make it as easy peasy lemon squeezy as possible for them to fundraise for clean water. So part of preparation for the hike is to get over jet lag, to get acclimated, and to see, and literally as a side benefit, to see God's amazing creation on a safari. So getting over jet lag, if you're from the US, it's 8-hour time difference between, say, Central Standard Time and Tanzania time. So you're messed up on your sleep schedule. What you don't want to do is arrive in Kilimanjaro Airport and start hiking the next day. That's a disaster waiting to happen. So the other thing is, we stay at a lodge for the safari part, the beginning, at the same elevation as we start the hike. So for 2 nights, we're at 7,800 feet And then 2 days later, we're starting the hike at 7,800 feet. So now we've gotten over jet lag. We've seen amazing creatures, giraffes, elephants, lions, you name it, at Gorogoro Crater. But we've also been acclimated. We're actually ready to start hiking at a fairly high elevation compared to where most people in the US live, for example, or in Europe. Okay, so we just finished kind of what a normal day would look like when we come to a village or a trading center or a medical clinic in Malawi to fix a water well. We start out with half the team sharing Bible stories and half the team fixing the water well. And then when we're all done with everything, we celebrate. The women like to sing. We take some photos and videos. And then we give out some Bibles to the chief to distribute among the men and the women, and one for his family. And then we have an audio Bible now called a Village Player that's got the entire Bible in English and Chichewa that they can charge up by the sun and also plug in if they have access to electricity. So they can listen to the entire Bible and listen to these 42 discipleship lessons. So we finished up with that and the 3 Bibles and also Bible story card. And then so we have the 5 Bible stories now in Chichewa that we want to leave with the chief to teach people how to memorize these stories so they can share the gospel with other villages or other people in their village that aren't here today. And finally, we were doing a little bit of limbo, which is where the kids can hold up each end of a piece of old pipe and they can kind of go under it like this and just have a fun time, all playing games together. And then we also gave out 2 soccer balls and 2 frisbees, so they can have some things to play with that last a lot longer physically than after we're gone. Of course, the Word of God was the main point of this whole thing, and getting people to hear about Jesus, hear how powerful He is, more powerful than the demons, more powerful than nature, must be born again, must have faith in Him, and that He knows all things. So, and we also need to tell others about Jesus, so that was the purpose of the 5 stories. But I'd love to have you join us in a future trip, and all you have to do is go to cleanwaterclimb.net/contact. But you can check out the website, and if you want to ask questions about future trips, go to that /contact.